The reality, most companies that go public do that to raise capital. We haven't needed to raise capital, and so that has not been a driving force. We have talked a little bit about would we go public, and it's like, well, the U.S.
It is even more urgent for fiscal and structural policies to make the euro area economy more productive, competitive, and resilient.
At a decision-making point and very close to a recession. And I'm worried about something worse than a recession.
Well, the lawsuit suppressed a whole lot of stuff. Let's remember, January 2018, XRP was briefly number 2. Even after the Hinman speech,
you will see these huge waves. And if you can stay objective throughout that, if you can detach yourself temperamentally from the crowd.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I be getting plenty. They want all your bags and they want all them empty.
What's up, good glitches? Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra bullishness. Shout out to the latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. We got XRP currently right around $2.08. Also, quick announcement, we got the new Bagman merch now live on the store. Also, Moon Party about 7 days away. We're going to be dropping the new album, Bagman 432. We got Bitcoin.com news to pop things off. XRP is turning heads in Asia like never before. A brand new tracker fund just launched in Hong Kong, backed by Ripple as a new anchor investor. Institutional access to XRP, no wallets, no custody, just pure exposure. Hashkey is leading the charge, monthly redemptions, cash or in-kind contributions, all benchmarked by CF Benchmark. This isn't just a fund, it's a blueprint. Ripple and Hashkey are teaming up to reshape how Asia taps into crypto, DeFi tokenization, enterprise blockchain. This is real. With XRP now the number 3 crypto, it could soon be the go-to asset for institutional giants. Is XRP about to run the show in Asia? XRP, the go-to premier platform, premier blockchain, distributed ledger technology for the utility era. We got Coin Bureau. New Ripple CEO firmly dismisses any plans for an IPO in 2025, calling it a definite no. Most companies that go public do it to raise capital. We haven't needed to raise capital.
The reality, most companies that go public do that to raise capital. We haven't needed to raise capital, and so that has not been a driving force. We have talked a little bit about would we go public, and it's like, well, the U.S. market until recently has been very hostile, and like, why would we even try to have that conversation? I mean, I guess the exact answer to the question, will we IPO in 2025? I think that's a definitive no. Okay. We're in 2025, and it certainly takes a little bit of time to get there. But I also think you have to ask yourself, okay, how does Ripple benefit from being a public company? And, therefore, is it a high priority for us? So, what we've said is there's no imminent plans to go public. I will acknowledge that a change in the SEC in the United States, as he said earlier, as conditions change, you never say never, and you reevaluate.
Got Cointelegraph latest president of the Euro Central Bank, Christine Lagarde, urges swift action on legislative groundwork for a digital euro, calling it essential for the EU competitiveness and resilience.
In the present geopolitical environment, it is even more urgent for fiscal and structural policies to make the euro area economy more productive, competitive, and resilient. The European Commission's Competitiveness Compass provides a concrete roadmap for action, and its proposals, including on simplification, should be swiftly adopted. This includes completing the Savings and Investment Union, following a clear and ambitious timetable, which should help savers benefit from more opportunities to invest and improve firms' access to finance, especially risk capital. It is also important to rapidly establish the legislative framework to prepare the ground for the potential introduction of the digital euro. Governments should ensure sustainable public finances in line with the EU's economic governance framework and prioritize essential growth-enhancing structural reforms and strategic investments.
We got Uphold. The intern had to do some digging on this. XRP surpassing ETH market cap debate. Here's what they found. XRP has surpassed Ethereum in terms of fully diluted value, FDV, or the market cap if the max supply was in circulation. FDV equals price, max supply. Hope this helps. the flippening. Chad Steingraber, the monetary order is changing. It's being upgraded to the XRP ledger. Like the 1930s, these even repeat the 100-year cycle.
I think that right now we are at a decision-making point and very close to a recession. And I'm worried about something worse than a recession if this isn't handled well. A recession is 2 negative quarters of GDP, and whether it goes slightly there, we always have those things. We have something that's much more profound. We have a breaking down of the monetary order. We are going to change the monetary order because we cannot spend the amounts of money, so we have that problem. And when we talk about the dollar and we talk about tariffs, we have that. We are having profound changes in our domestic order, how ruling is existing, and we're having profound changes in the world order. Such times are very much like the 1930s. I've studied history, and this repeats over and over again. So if you take tariffs, if you take debt, if you take the rising power challenging the existing power, if you take those factors and look at the factors, those changes in the orders, the systems, are very, very disruptive. How that's handled could produce something that is much worse than a recession.
Good morning, crypto. Will XRP flip ETH this cycle? John Dean believes is happening.
Long story short, it's about real world utility and Ethereum. It's slow, it's expensive, and quite frankly, the community has lost a lot of momentum since the Donald Trump election. What are some of your thoughts as to why XRP may pass Ethereum?
Well, the lawsuit suppressed a whole lot of stuff. Let's remember, January 2018, XRP was briefly number 2. Even after the Hinman speech, which was June 14th, 2018, where Bill Hinman gave, the free pass to Ethereum. Even after that, in October of 2018, briefly, XRP flipped Ethereum. And so, listen, people that love ETH are going to be mad at me, but I'm just saying it what it is. Ethereum blew the greatest regulatory advantage of any asset class that I'm aware of. That speech gave clarity to Ethereum and Bitcoin. And since Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts and all that kind of stuff, it was the biggest regulatory advantage you can imagine. And I just see people losing faith in Ethereum for whatever reason. I think Ethereum is going to survive and do fine, but I do believe XRP will flip it. I know this community, and I can tell you,
Axelar Network rollup services providers don't just want a single Ethereum bridge. They want and need to connect to all ecosystems, rollups, and chains.
So most of the time whenever we're talking with roll-up service providers, they don't want to just have a single bridge to Ethereum, right? They want to talk to everyone else. They want to talk to other roll-ups from other ecosystems. They want to talk to non-Ethereum roll-ups and other chains. And so we come in and augment them with our stack and deploy an integration with them to all the other ecosystems in parallel. I view it for practical purposes a chain with a bridge, and usually a slow one, 7 days finale. By default, users want to have instant settlement, right, of your transactions. They want to have that composability with everything else, and so we can overlay our protocol on top.
Kevin Carpenter, Warren Buffett, if you can detach yourself temperamentally from the crowd, you'll get very rich. You don't have to be very bright either. It doesn't take brains, it takes temperament.
People behave very peculiarly in terms of the reactions because they're human beings, and they get excited when others get excited. They get greedy when others get greedy. They get fearful when others get fearful, and they'll continue to do so. And you will see things you won't believe in your lifetime, and securities markets. And the country will do very well over time, but you will see these huge waves. And if you can stay objective throughout that, if you can detach yourself temperamentally from the crowd, you get very rich, and you won't have to be very bright. I mean, I'm sure you are, but you want, it doesn't take brains. It takes temperament. It takes the ability to sit there and look at something. When I started out in 1950, I would go through and find things at 2 times earnings, and they were perfectly decent businesses, and people wanted jobs at those companies, and everybody knew they were going to be around. And they wouldn't buy them at 2 times earnings, and that's when interest rates were 2.5%.
Detach from the FUD, detach from all the noise, and we'll see you at the Tippy top. Credible bull price on top, spot CBD on bottom. Notice that we have begun to see a divergence between the 2 cents. We tap buy zones at around $1.60. Clear spot absorption off our lows at $1.60 as spot takers continue to sell but price rising instead of following. This is a sharp contrast to all the prior PAs on the lower time frames where price generally moved in the same direction as spot CBD. This is exactly what we want to see at the local bottom. XRP. Block bull. This is the very first time in a long time that I've been bullish on XRP. Expect fireworks in the coming weeks. I'm on buy XRP breakout. Now loaded. Be ready. Bags packed. Locked and loaded. And we got Dark Defender, the 6 monthly time frame update on XRP. Is it bullish or bearish in the next 6 months? The last candles will be closed by the end of June. Short term mid targets 375, 585, 18, 22. I wish you an excellent weekend and happy Easter with your loved ones. Cheers. Riz XRP patience. XRP setting up that next SEC. Face melting. Pump and mustache. Altcoins total 3 looks really bullish, to be honest. Crypto is the most volatile market in the world, and a fact that many forget. They can quickly become very wild both downwards and upwards. And the longer they take, the higher we keep climbing on that XRP. Richless, 7 days away. We'll see you down in Austin, Texas for the 4th edition Moon Party. Where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? Catch you up here on the mothership. BYOB. Bring your own bags, be your own bank, be your own boss. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. We'll see you at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
Welcome to the party. This a moon party. Hey, this a moon party. Hey, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. This a moon party. This a moon party. Welcome to the party, we don't play round here. Moon suit on or you get sprayed round.